Here we are with Kenny the Jet Smith and the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal, Ernie Johnson. You're watching the NBA on 2K Sports.
Nightfall in the Windy City with the Willis Tower and the rest of downtown Chicago lighting up the sky. We're broadcasting from Chicago as the Bulls get ready to take the hardwood here at the United Center. I'm Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, our terrific analysts, and David Aldridge is our sideline reporter. So for the Spurs, their last game, a win against the Timberwolves.
And, you know, it wasn't just that they got stops, it was the way they got stops. Rejection after rejection.
Yeah, after a while, it just felt like they were demoralizing the opponent. It affected them mentally, and they took advantage.
And as things get ready to roll, let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's on the sideline. David?
Well, Kevin, Kawhi Leonard has been a great defender from day one, but he has developed into an elite offensive player as well. Now, Greg Popovich says he basically tells me what he wants to do now. He knows he has a green light. I think that's the difference. He's more confident, more aggressive, more hungry to score than in the past. Kevin?
And they need him to be that way, D.A. Thank you, especially after Tim Duncan's retirement and Manu and TP getting older. This is Kawhi's team now, for sure. We have two teams that love to score out of the post, but they need enough space, Brent, to do it. What's the strategy here?
Sometimes it's not just about the space, Kevin, but it's about the timing of the cuts. When a guy has a post-up opportunity, if the defense is looking at that post-up player, if you move at the right time, you can really create some incredible space for that guy, not only to score, but to sometimes find cutters who sneak behind the eyes of the defense.
And the starting group for the Spurs, Aldridge and Kawhi Leonard, the two stars at the forward spots. Parker and Green are the guard set, and it's Gasol at the 5 down low.
And giving up some height, he just finds a way to carve out a little separation.
This is sort of the joust of the NBA where the aggressive player, more often than not, wins out.
And it's sent back by Aldridge. Green with the ball. Now defended by Levine. Stolen by Levine. There's the dish to Pondexter. He feeds it to Grant. On the wing, Levine fires from deep. And no good that time. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. And it's Green with the jam.
And such a good feel for the game. Kawhi knows exactly what this offense is trying to accomplish and acts as a willing facilitator.
Now, here's Grant. 8 points his last outing. And Levine, here we go.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
And going back to his performance at the line last year, guys, 84% as a free throw shooter.
Free throw good, Levine. And the San Antonio Spurs, the best bench net rating in the league last season. Brent third in bench minutes.
Well, it's amazing the way that Pop controls the players' minutes. So the starters don't play a ton. The bench guys get enough minutes to play cohesively together. And one of the guys who was hugely impactful coming off the bench last year for them was Patty Mills. And in fact, last year they became the first 60-win team to have 11 different players that played at least 1,000 minutes.
And it's blocked by Mirotic. Parker against Grant. In the corner, it's Pondexter. Back to Grant. Launches a 3. That's good for Mirotic on the assist by Levine. Mirotic has got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Outside, Green. Screened by Parker. Green kicks to Leonard. Shoots over Pondexter, and he didn't get quite enough under that one. Chicago has gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Outside, Levine. Lopez sets a screen for Levine. Over Green. Levine can't hit.
And defensively, moving his feet there, staying right on top of the shooter.
Some defenses are okay with giving up the mid-range shot. In this case, they contested.
Now Levine. Kawhi Leonard missing from long range. Good work there as it goes.
That's a talented guy getting too easy a look. Might have been a miscommunication on that one.
Well, just the first quarter, everyone's still getting adjusted. That said, on defense, you have to bring help sooner.
Lopez with the steal. Fast break. Here comes Chicago. Shot from the wing. Again, Levine missing.
Right now, he's just out of sync. A lot of shots rimming out, and he's got to try to find something different.
First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. Over in the corner, Gasol. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Gasol's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Grant kicks to Levine. Here's Mirotic, the 15-footer. Good. Spurs trail by 6. Over to the left wing. Aldridge against Mirotic, and it's Aldridge missing.
Yeah, I think the defense made an impact on that play, making the shooter feel a bit uncomfortable on release.
There's the 3. They get it again. Here's Grant, and he banks in the layup. Grant's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Now that's how you pick up second chance points. Stay active and be ready as soon as the shot goes up.
Here's Aldridge. Gasol. It's good on the putback.
What stellar work from Gasol there, throwing himself against the glass and doing whatever it takes to find a second chance opportunity.
And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession.
All right, a chance to check out stats for Leonard. Coming off a terrific season, he averaged 25 points per, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. And he led the charge when it came to scoring, led the team.
Yeah, he shot the lights out all year long from a variety of spots on the floor. Love that versatility.
Now here's Leonard. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Again, the Spurs good for 2.
And after missing 4 straight, he finally gets 1 to go.
The Bulls leading by 4.
Kawhi Leonard reminds you of the way that people talked about defensive backs that can lock down great receivers in football. So suffocating, takes elite scorers completely out of positions on the floor where they like to be effective.
And here are the Bulls now after the basket by San Antonio. Ball's knocked loose. Lopez and Gasol sends it back.
Got to respect the reach and length of Pau Gasol. Outstanding job of skying up for that rejection.
Portis, he's checked in for Quincy Pondexter. Then for the Spurs, Rudy Gay's checked in for Gasol. Ginobili comes in for Green, and it's Mills in for Tony Parker. Now here is Mirotic. He has 5. Fires for 3. It's rebounded by Leonard. And with Kawhi defending you, Brent, I've heard you call it being marooned on the island of Kauai. What do you say, the Kauaian Islands?
That's right, Kevin. Stranded, if you were. I mean, it's so hard to do anything against Kawhi Leonard. Even simple things like making post-entry passes. It just feels like there's more than one of him on the floor.
Here's Levine after the made shot from Manu Ginobili. Pass to Mirotic. 6 on the shot clock. Grant. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And San Antonio called for the foul. And Brent, when some guys slam it home, they treat it like a normal play. Who are some of the guys that use the dunk as a tactic to fire up their teammates?
Well, I think we have some guys who are really spectacular when they finish, Kevin. Certainly anytime Blake Griffin gets to the rim, or DeAndre Jordan, where seemingly his head's up in there and slams it down, it fires up the crowd. But most of the time, it's the little guys that get you going the most. On the fast break, all of a sudden the ball gets to somebody on the wing, and to watch a little guy get up in the air with somebody underneath him and throw it down, that gets everybody off the bench and fired up.
So unexpected, Brent. That's a great point. And Mills kicks to Aldridge. Holiday against Gay. From 18 feet away. The shot, no good. Holiday with the defensive effort. And it's Grant in the corner. Portis kicks to Holiday. Here's Grant. And it's off the back rim, no good.
The defense, not so good. And when you're deep inside like that, you got to come through.
And there's Ginobili. That's good on the assist by Anderson. Ginobili's got his second basket of the night.
Well, years of experience come into play, not only here, but overseas. Ginobili with perfect rhythm on the catch and shoot.
Here's Felicio. Oh, took the contact and tried to throw it down over the top, but instead he'll shoot free throws.
And that's really just smart basketball. You send a poor foul shooter to the line.
For Chicago, they have hit all 4 of their chances so far in this one.
And as a team, excellent a season ago, about 80% when they got to the line.
First free throw is good. And he can't hit the second.
And you can see that even though he ties the game up, disappointed he couldn't give him the lead.
A nice shot by Anderson.
Anderson's inside game reminiscent of an old teammate of his, Boris Diaw, patient in the post around the rim.
Grant outside. Portis kicks to Felicio. Second chance shot. And it's sent back by Aldridge.
There's that length and anticipation. Hard to get the ball over Aldridge in that scenario.
If you're going in amongst the trees, you have got to be aggressive.
Well, he's also crafty with how he approaches it. Right there, he uses just the right move to lay it in.
The Spurs shooting their first free throw attempt on the night.
And for many years, the Chicago Bulls were viewed as a model franchise. Always were competitive and in the hunt for a title, but this current version just can't escape turmoil from within.
Markkanen kicks to Grant. And it's sent back by Aldridge. And now in transition is Mills. Here we go. Here's Gay.
Oh, wow.
Hello.
It's a beautiful jam.
And Gay has incredible lift on these dunks. Tremendous at slamming it in when given room to fly.
Special thanks to Under Armour for that sweet replay we just saw. Another unleash chaos moment.
And they can't allow him too many open looks like that. That's just inviting trouble.
And it's Aldridge missing.
And listen, you can't design a play any better to get a look that good. Just couldn't knock it down.
The best players know that is going to happen, and you just can't let it get into your head. It's a shot that you want to take.
Now, here's Grant, following the miss by LaMarcus Aldridge. Here's Holiday. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
And Mills kicks to Aldridge. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Aldridge has got his first points of the night.
Well, I feel like he can make that one blindfolded. Aldridge, as usual, cashing in from mid-range.
Pass to Markkanen. And Holiday kicks to Markkanen. Rebounded by the Spurs. And going against Chicago, their first meeting of the season.
And really, this is a team that expects to beat everyone when they step on the floor, but they were only able to split the series last year.
And they don't want a repeat of what happened last year here. They know this is an opponent they can handle, and they don't want to give away anything like they did last year.
So it's the Spurs now. And Mills kicks to Anderson. To the paint. The 10-footer. Aldridge misses. Grant. Not going to go that time. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Spurs lead by 2. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in just a moment. And a chance to hear from Tony Parker, who said he lives for the challenge of continuing to improve.
I always try to improve and get better, and Pop always challenged me he came to me and he said, you know, good players, they can have a great season, but great players, they have many great seasons. So he said, what you want to be?
And in Tony Parker's case, great is what he wanted to be and has been for a long time.
You know, that's great because that shows Pops and why he's one of the best in the game. You got to be able to drive and motivate and also give the confidence. And that's what's happened with Tony Parker. Remember when he first came on the scene, it was not a cakewalk for him. He had his struggles, and now we're talking about a guy who's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. And guys, what's your take on the Spurs so far?
Through that first one, they've turned this thing into a track meet.
Love the pace they're playing with. Anytime you can get your offense going without the defense setting up, you've got a huge advantage.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On the court for San Antonio, we've got Murray. Aldridge out there with Anderson. And it's Mills. And it's Gay in at the small forward position. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, the Spurs have never been the flashy team in the NBA. Tony Parker said beautiful basketball is playing the right way. Ball movement, pure, beautiful basketball is the way we've played. You have all sorts of fans, and there should be something for everybody. Kevin, he told me a long time ago, if we were in New York, people would love us.
And during Popovich's time in San Antonio, the Spurs have always played together, D.A. Got to respect their team-first approach to the game. Bulls making a switch here. Levine's checked in. Bulls shooting their 7th attempt at the foul line in this one. That free throw good from Markkanen. Hey, Brent, what's more important, offense or defense? Some guys are great at both.
Well, offense is sometimes what you get paid for, Kevin, but defense is where you need a buy-in. And so to me, it's always the defense and the way that you construct that camaraderie on that end of the floor, that communication on that end of the floor that's going to make the difference in your season.
Don't you love two-way players, though, guys that play hard at both ends? It's hard to do, but the guys that do it well really stand out.
Well, it's not football, Kevin. There's two sides that you have to play in basketball, and certainly the more equipped that you are to play both, the more playing time you're going to see for a coach.
Wide open look here for Murray. Rebound by the Bulls. Felicio's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Holiday, the pass to Felicio. Dishes it to Levine. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Levine's got 6 points.
Yeah, the smaller defender there really not having a chance. That's where a big guy needs to rotate over and help.
Lopez, he's checked in for the Bulls. Mirotic comes in for Markkanen, then for the Spurs. Leonard comes in for Kyle Anderson, and it's Green in for Patty Mills. Murray kicks to Leonard, and Zach Levine gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him.
You can't afford to be that careless. They need him out there on the floor, so he has to avoid fouling again in this period.
Here's Murray. He had 16 points in the win against Minnesota. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Here's Lopez, and the dunk by Lopez.
Fundamentals, guys, using the one-hand slam.
Really makes the basics look pretty exceptional. Murray kicks to Green. And the officials will call the illegal screen right there. And to look now at the 4 areas where shots can come from. The paint, mid-range, and shots from deep, all broken down for San Antonio.
And they are going where the going is good for them right now. The painted area, high percentage and high volume shots.
Levine dishes to Mirotic. Can't get it to fall.
And that's just good offense. Surprised he blew that one, and the defense is too.
And it's out of bounds. The Spurs able to retain possession here.
And here's a look at the stats for Pau Gasol. A very nice season for him last year. He was around 12 points per game last year. 8 rebounds and 2 assists. Just solid all-around performances we've been seeing from him, delivering night in and night out.
And I like it when stars do exactly that. It's not just about scoring 50 or 40 or 30. It's about making plays consistently. Wow, huge sigh of relief for the defense on that possession. You cannot give mid-range shooters any space like that to operate.
And Greg Popovich has led the Spurs to the playoffs in all 20 of the full seasons he's coached the team. But you know what, Brent? He always gives his players the credit.
Well, Pop knows that the players are the ones who deserve all of the accolades. But there's no doubt that there's an appreciation for the way that Pop continues to put his team and each member of the team into situations where they collectively can compete every year. And it's not about just competing for the playoffs, Kevin. I'm talking about competing for titles. What a run that Greg Popovich has been on.
Parker's checked in for the Spurs. Here's Leonard. Again, the miss by the Spurs.
But his struggles are consuming the rest of the team here tonight. He's got to find his rhythm and find it fast.
Lopez a screen. And Levine, here we go. The kick out to Lopez. Shot clock at 5. Chicago needs to get off a shot here. And again, Chicago, no good.
His shot's just, it's not there right now. With his team leading, perhaps, you know, let's focus on some other areas of the game.
The Bulls leading by 3. Kicks it to Mirotic. Back to Levine. Mirotic, a screen on Leonard. Here's Levine. Rebound by Murray.
The defensive reaction time, it was just immediate on that one.
You know, sometimes the most important part of that is the angle that the defender chooses. That time, he chose wisely.
And sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line. It's going to be Green shooting. It's on Zach LaVine. And Danny Green, undrafted out of North Carolina. He's been a linchpin of the Spurs' great defense over his career.
You know, 6'6" with that 6'10" wingspan. This is a guy that can block shots like a big man, guards 3 positions, and one of the guys that we call the prototype when you talk about that 3 and D wing player.
High arcing shot, and scoring with the play inside is Parker. Parker's got his first bucket of the night. Chicago trailing here. Outside, Levine. Lopez a screen. Levine kicks to Pondexter. And Holiday has it in the corner. Back to Mirotic. Lopez passes to Pondexter. Levine for 3, and they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Manu Ginobili, he's checked in for DeJounte Murray. Parker against Levine. Now here's Parker. Not a lot of room. Gasol a screen. Parker kicks to Gasol. Lopez with the steal. To the middle. Here's Mirotic, and finished off by Mirotic.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Well, this team now has to settle in right here and have a great possession without getting so aggressive that you compound your mistake.
Here's Leonard after the Bulls pick up 2. Turn around Jay. He gets it in there. Leonard's got his second basket of the night.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range.
Out to the right wing. Lopez a screen. Holiday dishes to Levine. Fires the 3. A rebound by Gasol. Gasol's got 3 rebounds now in this one.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to buy himself a ticket to the bench. If he keeps shooting it like that, he has been putrid here this quarter.
And able to get it done once again in close. Just one of the ultimate finishers at the rim.
Passes to Holiday. Lopez sets a screen for Holiday. In the corner, it's Pondexter. Gasol with the steal. Green kicks to Ginobili. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Now it's a 7-point Spurs lead.
Okay, Lefty, I see you. Vintage Ginobili there.
Chicago has gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. The feed to Holiday. And there's the pass to Mirotic. Holiday dishes dishes to Mirotic. Chicago keeps it going. A new 24-second clock. The shot by Holiday, no good. Ginobili outside. He dishes it to Parker. Back to Ginobili. Screen by Parker. Ginobili kicks to Leonard. Shoots over Pondexter. And it's Leonard missing.
He can't make a thing out there right now, guys. If he keeps this up, don't be surprised if his team gives up this lead.
And there's the foul. It'll go on Nikola Mirotic. That is his first foul of the game. Bobby Portis is checked in for the Bulls. The Spurs also changing it up. LaMarcus Aldridge is checked in for Gasol. And it's Kyle Anderson in for Danny Green. Now here's Parker. Lets a floater go. It's hauled in by the Bulls. Lopez has got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Shot to stop the run. Marvelous lead pass, and he throws it down.
Yeah, he just punched the ticket on that one. That'll get the job done.
Powerful two-hand jam. Spurs leading by 5. Aldridge a screen. Here's Leonard. From 16 feet away, he cans it. Leonard's got 4 points this quarter.
And sometimes it just doesn't matter how good the D is. Kawhi with the all-world ability to hit the jumper even when you got him blanketed.
They get it back, and it's sent back by Aldridge. And now in transition is Parker. Here we go. That falls. Nice feed that time for Manu Ginobili. And that's now 6 points for Tony Parker. Bulls shooting 31% in the second. Some poor shot selection for them in this quarter.
And for so long, the Bulls really were synonymous with the best defensive teams in the league. But as a team, they've started to slip the last few years. It's something that has been lost while this team kind of retools for the future.
And it used to be you could pencil in the Bulls as a top 10 defensive team by most metrics in any given year. But, Greg, the last few seasons, they've just been middle of the pack.
And, you know, over the history of this team, they've always been at their best when they played great defense. You go back to those Jordan years where they were marked by exceptional defense. This last group led by Derek. And doing their best to maximize possessions, just staying focused with this lead.
Well, it isn't much, but they've been able to capture some of the momentum of this game and increase their advantage.
Got it. Nice one there from Levine.
There's just no excuse to leave someone that wide open. Communication breakdown.
Hills with it. Anderson kicks to Ginobili. Gay outside. Shot clock at 6. Over Levine. No good from Gay. Bulls trail by 7. Shot and game clock separated by 5. Grant kicks to Markkanen, and the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Gay.
Yeah, tremendous hustle just to get a hand on that one.
Anticipation, reads the play all the way. So close to a steal.
And so here is Chicago. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. The Bulls have shot 9 of 11 at the free throw line. The first one falls. And so Levine nails both of them. 17 seconds left in the second quarter. Gay, a screen on Grant. Mills passes to Gay. He kicks to Aldridge. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Second player taken in the 2006 NBA draft. Aldridge has been an all-star multiple times and one of the game's most prolific scorers over the past decade.
This is his first free throw of the game.
In their last contest, guys, he was unconscious from the foul line.
First one falls for him. Both good from the line that time.
Such a big bonus to have a big guy that can step up to the free throw line and knock down shots. So many guys struggle from there.
And so it's the San Antonio Spurs heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. They've dictated the pace, pushed the ball at every chance, and it's paying off for them. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with Coach Greg Popovich. Pop, what do you think was the key to having such a strong first half?
We played good D.
That was 4 words. Thanks, Pop. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime
Ernie
Show.
Johnson here. Got Shaq, got Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you back to the halftime show on 2K Sports. The first quarter was all about Manu Ginobili. He had 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 steal. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on how San Antonio played?
You know what, Ernie, I got to stand up on this one. I salute to their bench. Man, once the starters came out, man, the others just came to life. You got to love seeing that kind of contribution come from the others. Man, they look beautiful tonight.
And Kenny, let's get your input on the Bulls.
I think they're giving this game away because of their turnovers. I mean, you may not control everything that happens out there, but you do control how much you value each possession. I think coming out of the break, they need to be more efficient to close the gap in the score.
And that's all we can do for now. As the second half begins, we get you back to Kevin Harlan.
And the third quarter about ready to get underway. You look at Zach LaVine, he's really been playing well.
Yeah, great job from him in that.
Bulls trail by 7. Mirotic at the power forward with Lopez in the middle. LaVine is out there with Grant. And it's Pondexter in at the 3 slot. And that's the group for Fred Hoiberg as we begin the second half. Clock at 6. Baseline try. LaVine can't hit.
And he completely threw the timing off on that jumper. That is how you D up.
Playing with tremendous aggressiveness without fouling. That's an excellent job.
Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And to me, this is why they're winning, guys. Unlikely players stepping up huge against a defense that's really nowhere to be found.
Count that one. And now it's an 11-point San Antonio lead.
Green shooting the ball has such a quick release. Just got to stay confident.
And Kawhi Leonard, just the second perimeter player in league history to win back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year awards.
And he joined, of course, the great Milwaukee Buck, Sidney Moncrief, in doing that. And it's an award that we know usually goes to a big man who's down there protecting the rim and shoring up any defense. Kawhi Leonard does it everywhere on the floor, and it's amazing to watch opposing offenses try to strategize against where it is Kawhi Leonard might be defensively.
And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in. The Sala screen, Leonard. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. Brent, you were known for your leaping ability. You won a dunk contest. We all remember it very vividly during the pre-draft process. Did they measure your max vertical?
They did, Kevin. At the Chicago pre-draft camp, you run through a series of tests there. Your conditioning, how your CO2 gets kicked out. They put this mask on you and check your stamina. There's a bunch of doctors in there poking and prodding. I won't go into detail about that.
Thank you.
But they did measure the max vertical during that Chicago pre-draft, and it was about 39-inch vertical leap, so not too bad.
Not too bad at all. Out to the wing. Pondexter, no good.
Just tentative in the paint, lacking a little bit of confidence, allowed the defender to recover and contest that shot.
Sinks the three-pointer.
Man, sharp here to start the half. That's 3 in a row.
Grant kicks to Lopez. And Lopez throws it down.
And really nothing like a good old-fashioned throwdown to get a team going.
And Greg, they do need to get going. They wouldn't mind, shaving a couple more points off that lead right away.
Yeah, they should bring out a big razor right now, Kevin. A great start, an aggressive move to show they're not going to lay down.
And count it, and a chance for one more at the free throw line.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
The Spurs have been perfect so far from the free throw line, 6 for 6.
And as a team, excellent a season ago, about 80% when they got to the line.
Feeds to Pondexter. Back to Grant. Right wing. Here's Mirotic. And it's off from three-point range.
Ooh, and this is turning into a slow start here in the second half. Seems like they left that offense in the locker room. How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to the Raptors.
And really, you'd like to just see more from that inside game offensively. In that one, it didn't happen.
And sometimes your poor shooting from the perimeter can dictate and should dictate that you go to the inside. Tonight they didn't do it.
Denzel Valentine, he's checked in for Quincy Pondexter. And we see a chart here for the shooting performance so far for Levine.
And it's been bad news for them in the mid-range game so far. The looks they've been getting aren't the worst in the world, but every shot seems to find a way to rim out, and it's cost them in a major way. Some more ball movement and looking at attacking the basket might be the best way for them to shake things up.
He gets a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Kevin, the Spurs' Greg Popovich talked about developing players. He said, our method is usually tough love. I don't think coddling works, and beating them to death mentally doesn't work either. You give them a clear picture of what's demanded, show care, understand what makes them tick. If that doesn't get through, you get rid of them. Kevin?
And the military background of Popovich plays a part in this way of thinking, David. It's why the Spurs have been so successful for so many years. Great open look there. Leonard's got 9 points now in just the second half.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Parker dishes to Green. Lets it go with a three. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Grant the pass to Lopez. Can they get it? And that one goes long. Spurs leading by 22.
And the San Antonio Spurs, the #1 ranked defense in the league the last 2 seasons running, top 5 defensively for the last half decade. When you play the black and silver, you may end up black and blue.
And for the Spurs, you look at every defensive metric. Blocks, rebounding, Brent, avoiding fouls. They're ahead of the pack.
Well, steals are the only thing, Kevin, in a defensive category where they simply were just above average, and that's because they don't take many risks. They're willing to get themselves in great position and be in great position consistently and wear down the opposition because they're just so fundamental on the defensive end of the floor.
Here's Grant. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Grant's got 10 points. Here are the Spurs with the ball. They're on a 20-5 run. Outside Aldridge. Lets it fly. A putback. Mirotic grabs the miss. Chicago's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. Levine inside the three-point line. Quick shot there, and it's off target.
He seems to be forcing just a little bit out there. He needs to play a little calmer, a little smarter, with a little bit more poise if they're going to win this one.
Get off the court, Bulls!
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. And with the emergence of Kawhi Leonard, LaMarcus Aldridge has become a secondary scorer in San Antonio. Brent, how do you like him in that role?
Well, I think that's where LaMarcus Aldridge really fits best, even in his time in Portland with the tremendous offensive output he had as one of the Blazers' greatest of all time. he's sometimes not leaned upon as being the primary scorer, even though that low block basically belongs to LaMarcus Aldridge.
And there's the foul. It'll go on Jaren Grant. That'll be his second foul of the game. Hey, Brent, when you look at the All-Star balloting, it's amazing how many worthy point guards have to be left off the roster. How'd the league end up with so many great players at that position all at once? It's an amazing story.
It has been an incredible crop. I mean, really the golden era of point guards. And the one guy who I feel really badly for over the course certainly of the last 5 or 6 seasons is one Mike Conley. Any coach in the league would take Mike Conley at the drop of a hat, yet he's dealing with, over the course of his career, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Tony Parker, Steve Nash, Chauncey Billups, Chris Paul. Should I go on, Kevin? It is a very, very tough position.
Those names, it says it all. Good on both.
How about the Spurs clinching their 20th straight playoff appearance last season? An amazing run, more than twice as long as the next active streak. And the longest streak in the league was the Sixers from 1950 to 1971. I think the Spurs are going to get past them.
The dish to Markkanen to the wing right side. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. And Mirotic kicks to Markkanen. Buries the 20-footer. Markkanen's got 4 points this quarter.
And I tell you what, Markkanen has already mastered the art of the bank shot. Loves getting it up there and knocking that one down. You have got to be in his space if you want to disrupt his rhythm.
Aldridge with a screen on Holiday. Here's Gay. Markkanen pulls it in. And Greg Popovich tied for the longest streak of consecutive playoff appearances by a head coach.
Well, how about 18 straight 50-win seasons for Pop? Just a remarkable run of tremendous success where you could look at maybe 5 or 6 other opportunities where the San Antonio Spurs could have won another NBA title. You realize young DeJounte Murray was still in diapers the last time that they won less.
And it's about the tempo, guys. It favors them, and just look at that score.
Yeah, I'm a little bit exhausted here trying to keep up with these guys, and I'm just watching. And they always attempt to wear you out.
Pass to Grant. Pass to Portis. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that, Portis has got 6 points.
Got to give a ton of credit to the screener there. That was a perfect pick to give his teammate the space to knock down the shot.
Ginobili kicks to Aldridge. Stolen by Grant. Gay against Mirotic. Grant dishes to Holiday. Here's Markkanen. That 3 off the mark. Spurs leading by 18. And here's Mills. Aldridge with a screen on Grant. Excellent use of the screen that time. Mills has got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Yeah, great job setting up the defender. Mills had him backing up and opens up that one off the screen.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
And I like this timeout. You're getting terrible rim protection right now.
Well, you got to ask your team to give you a little bit more effort because there's just not a lot of fire on the defensive end.
Felicia's checked in for Mirotic. Portis kicks to Grant. The kick out to Holiday. Back to Grant. 5 to shoot. Shoots over Mills. They grab their own miss. Another shot. Felicio with the bucket.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Mills passes to Aldridge. Ginobili kicks to Mills. That shot's good on the assist by Ginobili. He's got 10.
And you can see the play calling this half. Another one from distance.
Yeah, no question. It looks like they've rented out room along the perimeter in this ball game, and they're likely to keep doing this until the defense makes an adjustment.
Markkanen kicks to Holiday. There's a good screen. No good from Grant. San Antonio leading by 22. Ginobili, that's for 2. Hits the front of the rim and out.
And that's really a function of the offense not working as it should.
Yeah, maybe lazy play calling or just going through the motions on that possession. This often leads to a bad shot.
Holiday dishes to Grant. Fires the three. The rebound by Anderson. Anderson's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Mills can't hit. The Bulls shooting pretty terrible here in the third quarter at around 30%. Here's Portis. Here's Markkanen. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And let's check out some stats for Ginobili. Last season's performance for him. He put up about 7 points a game, 2 assists and 2 rebounds. And he can play some valuable minutes on the wing for this team.
I just want to kick back and lounge here because when this guy's hot, it's a love story. And when he's cold, it's a nightmare. So sit back, get your popcorn. Let's see what he does.
The Spurs making a switch here. Gasol's checked in. Anderson the screen. And Mills kicks to Gay. It's deflected. Grant outside. Here's Markkanen. And the shot falls short this time.
I'm just wondering why the defense is laying off. Luckily, they didn't pay for their mistake.
Gay passes to Gasol. Here's Mills. 10 points for him. Ginobili outside from the arc. Stayed with it, but they couldn't get it to fall. And so it's San Antonio closing out the quarter with a 20-point lead. They've been playing some inspired defense, giving up very few easy points. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. A chance now to hear Greg Popovich talking to his team just moments ago.
The way we keep a lead is to keep making stops, gain rebound, and keep the pace on offense.
No surprise moments ago in that little talk that Greg Popovich gave his team in pushing his troops, sensing an open opportunity to break this thing wide open.
And he's a guy who will never settle, and for good reason. He knows that any dip in momentum can shift the course of a game.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. On the floor for San Antonio, Mills and Manu at the guards. Rudy Gay is out there with Anderson. And it's Gasol and at the center filling out the middle. Spurs leading by 17. Now Mills. Now here's Gay. Felicio with the rebound. Felicio's got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. And Levine, here we go. And he uses the glass on the layup.
And you got to like the vision for Markkanen. I mean, a big man who knows how to find the open man.
San Antonio's gone past the three-point line for 13 of their shots. They're 6 of 13. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Now here's Mills, guarded by Levine. 6 on the shot clock. Shot from the wing. Jump shot is good. 8 points for Gay.
I love how Gay keeps the ball high, not allowing the defense to block it. His length really comes in handy.
Markkanen with it. Here's Felicio, and that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
Well, in the rebounding game, at least, it's been a strong physical performance for him.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. Some changes for Chicago. Lopez, he's checked in for Felicio. And it's Jaren Grant in for Markkanen. The Spurs also changing it up. Leonard, he's checked in for Anderson. Green comes in for Manu Ginobili. And Parker subbed in for Patty Mills. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
During that break, Greg Popovich really had some strong advice for his team. Even though they're ahead, he said these guys are capable of catching fire. They can score a lot in a little. I don't want to see anybody easing up until the final whistle. Guys.
Leonard kicks to Gasol. Over Lopez. It's Gasol missing. Bulls trail by 17. And here is Grant. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops.
Great awareness. No reason to take it inside there against the taller man.
Yeah, most analytics will tell you that the mid-range jumper is not an efficient shot, but you see how effective with guys like that it can be.
Good-looking screen by Gasol. Here's Gay. The jumper from the free throw line is good. Gay's got 6 points in the quarter.
And they are earning points with the jump shot now.
To the left wing, Portis kicks to Grant. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. Lopez a screen. Levine dishes to Grant. Back to Levine. Over Green. Levine can't hit. Spurs leading by 17. And the wide open shot from Green. Rebound by the Bulls. Portis has got his 4th rebound in this one. On the wing, Levine, covered by Parker. Grant against Green. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's going to be on Rudy Gay.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
The free throw drops for Grant. And Grant drops them both. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the 4th quarter. Parker kicks to Gay. Outside Leonard. The 3. The shot, no good. Now Chicago takes it the other way. Parker against Grant. Pass to Portis. Lopez a screen. Here's Levine, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And one of the pieces of the Jimmy Butler trade this offseason, Zach LaVine finds himself as a prime building block for a rebuilding team. The Bulls see him as a star of the future.
And rightfully so, even given the fact that he's recovering from the ACL surgery. LaVine is young and can grow his game with the team. Hard to get fair value for a player of Butler's ability, but LaVine is a great place to start.
Here's Aldridge. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Green's got assist number 5 here tonight.
Impressive, really, from that short 17 area. They are not missing many.
Lopez sets a screen for Grant. He feeds it to Lopez. That shot is off. Nice D from Aldridge. San Antonio leading by 16. Parker outside. Right side Aldridge. Over Mirotic. And Mirotic sends it back. But he gets it back. And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
And Pau Gasol, one of the most skilled 7-footers this league has ever seen. Whether it's the low post, high post, flaring off picks, you want the ball in his hand.
And Pau Gasol, a very good perimeter shooter, starting to stretch his range out beyond that 3-point arc.
Yeah, his face-up game is becoming more and more prominent. Working from that elbow, he's become more of a triple threat. He can shoot it, drive it, and pass at a high level.
Bulls trailed by 19. Grant the pass to Lopez. And the dunk by Lopez.
You know, didn't need 2 hands for that slam. One will do just fine.
You're right. He can save the other hand for the next time. Parker against Grant. Aldridge with a screen on Levine. The drive by Green. He got an advantage there off the pick and took it right in. And the Spurs lead by 19.
Yeah, it's not so much just the made shots, it's the consistency of the made shots that's got his team the lead.
Levine, good.
Rabbit's foot in the shoe that time. Got lucky because the pick has to be better. It made no impact, but they still got the score.
Good looking screen by Gasol. Now here's Leonard. He's guarded closely. Gasol dishes to Parker. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Parker. Shoots over Mirotic. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. 8 points for Parker.
And no hesitation from Parker right there. If you give him the space, he will knock down that jumper.
Dishes it to Mirotic. Offensive rebound. Lopez kicks to Levine. A three-pointer is right on target. Levine's got 8 points here in this quarter.
Yeah, and they are living and dying from beyond the arc since halftime. It's a different look than what we saw in the first half.
Aldridge is screened. And Zach Levine gets the whistle that time. That's his 4th foul of the contest.
I don't know if you push the panic button now, but that's the 4th personal, and he needs to stay aggressive out there. So going to be interesting to see how he plays moving forward.
Here's Aldridge. Rebound by Pondexter. Bulls trail by 16. Here's Levine. It's stolen by Green. And a fast break now for the Spurs. Green with the ball. The dunk and the foul. A powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. It's on Zach Levine.
And Danny Green out of North Carolina, the former Tar Heel, now in his 9th season in the NBA. 8 of those seasons with San Antonio, as a guy that went undrafted and then spent the last 5 seasons starting for a contender deep in the heart of Texas.
Grant against Parker. Kicks it to Leonard. Looking for Gasol. He gets it there. And it's sent back by Lopez. Pondexter from outside. A second chance effort. And that one's good by Lopez.
I mean, he makes plays like that in his sleep. The game is just far too easy.
Green, the screen. The feed to Aldridge. Shoots over Mirotic. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in.
Yeah, and that's what you want from your point guard. Parker distributing the ball wonderfully on that possession.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. And Tony Parker in the 2017 season with the lowest minutes per game average in his career. He was playing so well in the playoffs. I mean, historically well. Then, Greg, as we know, the quad injury in the playoffs.
Yeah, and it's pretty clear that that 15-year run he's had as a starter, that window is rapidly closing, but still effective, just no longer the focal point that he once was.
Lopez, a screen on Gasol. Back to Grant. 4 on the clock. Over Parker. Lopez. San Antonio with the rebound. The biggest lead of the game was 24 points. Parker outside, and there's the foul. It'll go on Jaren Grant. That's his 4th foul of the contest. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Felicio's checked in for Lopez. Markkanen comes in for Quincy Pondexter. Justin Holiday's checked in for Levine, and Cameron Payne subbed in for Jaren Grant. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Laverne, he's checked in for Gasol. Anderson comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Manu Ginobili, he's checked in for Leonard. And it's DeJounte Murray in for Tony Parker. Here's Green, finds the open look, and it's on target. Green's got 20 points.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Spurs.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And so with this, they'll end up with their 2nd win on the year.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
Now here's Murray, guarded closely. The pass to Anderson. The Spurs working the ball around now. Here's Laverne on the mark with the 15-footer.
Timeout, timeout.
And the Spurs lead by 20.
Yeah, with this lead, that's probably going to do it. Fans heading for the exits.
Now the team came in fired up from the opening tip. See the focus. They're ready to do battle.
Here's Payne. And again, Chicago, no good. The clock now can just run out for the Spurs. Now here's Murray. Tight defense on him. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Danny, a strong defensive effort both individually and team. Now, how comfortable are you at that end of the floor now, knowing that you can make things tough on the opposition?
Well, we want to make them take tough shots. We're not comfortable at any point defensively, but we got to continue to be active and be aggressive and get our hands on loose balls.
It's been the mark of the Spurs for a long time, Danny. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that about wraps it up. For Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan, along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. So long, everyone.